Hello everybody, welcome back. If you miss anything, please try to replay this. We're going to try and do as best as we can. This is live, so sometimes we don't always do as we say, but thus far, this is the demo for Still Life, and our center or focus will be on light and shadow. Isn't that cool? Alright, so I went online and I have several pictures. They're right there in front of me, just in case. Alright. I just go online, you can go to shutterphoto.com, I think. Shutterbox. Is it Shutter? Shutter. Alright, somebody's actually calling me. Oh, someone for my job. Okay. Alright, so I have to attend to this phone call. Are you serious?
Well, no, we didn't keep the cows.
Oh my god. Alright, just try to keep the demo. I am so sorry. I use my phone for this demo, so we're going to do our best. Okay, so light and shadow. Excuse me. When you are seeing an object, we tend to say, and I'm not trying to demean anybody, but we kind of just act like we never seen it before. Thank you. Are you calling me beautiful? Beautiful. What is beautiful? Anyway. So hopefully, and I hope you guys know how to draw. So let's just keep that. All right. Let's say you already know this step. All right. My pencil is kind of like rough, and it's okay. I'm using a 2B. Which is a big no-no, but okay, just go with the flow. All right, so I'm just going to omit some of the stuff that I see. I don't know if you can see. This one is a pretty heavy pencil, so you'll be able to see part of that shadow, okay? So I'm just marking it, all right, because I'm starting off, all right? I will mark it with my pencil as to this is the place where I'm not going to touch, okay? Now, I suggest you to do this in a live setting, which means that you're going to take a pear out of the fridge or out of the supermarket and do this out of, your own pantry. Why? Why is this? The reason why is because, hey, thank you. The reason why is because, hello. You want to really nail this out. So the only way that you can actually nail like where the light is coming from, etc., will be from a light setting. All right. So I'm just gonna try here. All right. So we're doing here an orange, and like you said, we're just focusing on light and shadow. So I can have you guys or try to as best as I can to explain what I mean by this. And we're just going to add a couple of strawberries in here. Again, even I'm just drawing as I go, not going crazy with whatever. And I'm just gonna go here. These are not my, so it's 1, 2. Yeah, this is fine. And I'm just going to make a seam because this is a picture and I don't really have a, it's kind of too low. So we're just going to try and fix this here. We're going to obviously measure out, which I forgot to tell you. You're going to measure out. This is where your frame is going to go. So you measure out your frame, right? The frame, how it's going to go in your paper. So usually we take this out. So basically you have to push, your center will be right here. I did it a little lower, but just take into account that this is just a demo. We're just practicing. All right, so I'm looking at my pear. My pear over here, and I'm just marking down. Immediately I'm squinting and I'm stepping back and I'm marking down where my lights are. This is the part that I'm not going to touch, and I'm trying to do as best as I can because we're actually working from a photograph. If you were doing this from a live setting, you will obviously have a little bit more of a better lighting, and you will definitely know where to place your shadow. So that's why I will, anybody that works in watercolors will start off a still life from life, but we're just, going with the flow. All right, so the point here is to locate our shadows now, since we already located our lights, right? And we're omitting as to if it's round or anything, because we're going to do this with our brush. We're going to give the form and shape with our brush. So I'm going to come here with my palette. Now, also, I should put disclaimer. All right. Because I'm a watercolorist, I'm always watercoloring. This mess over here, don't take that into account. We're just going to use some yellow, and we're going to do as we go what is called layering. Now, you can do a watercolor painting both ways. So you can layer if you want from light to dark, or you can actually just go straight. All right, so we're just going to layer for now, and we're going to add as we go. So I'm just going to grab from here a little bit of that really intense yellow. The yellow that I'm using is from Holbein. All right, and it's permanent yellow. All right, just in case you were interested. And we're going to start our watercolor here. I'm just going to give a nice wash of yellow to my pear. All right. And I'm just going to come here, just going to scoop off. I want you to see how I'm taking that out. All right, let's do the replay. Okay, if you miss anything, do a replay. We're just gonna, okay. Now you can do this, or you can use a napkin. It'll be the same. All right, we're going to come here and do the same thing. I'm going to go a little less quicker, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my brush. So what I'm trying to do as I'm going, I'm rounding out. You see that? Rounding out on that brush. So don't think that I'm just like doing this. All right, let's do this again. All right. I want you to see my hand, so you see how I'm rounding this up. All right. And then I'm going. But of course, I'm doing it quicker because I have more experience. All right. And then we're going to add just a little darker to our strawberry. And as you can see, I'm omitting my lights. Not touching my lights. Or as careful as I can, if you might say. All right, we step back again, and this we can do this with an oil painting the same way. This will be good for oil painting for acrylics. You're going to step back again. You're going to squint your eyes. You're going to stare at your subject, which is that pear over there, and we're going to start giving a little bit more color. So I'm adding a little bit of burnt sepia, a little bit of green to that really nice yellow. I'm going to add more water, and I'm doing a wash here. And I'm going to start again adding some of that shadow. All right. I want you to pay attention as I go, because this is important, because I'm actually rounding up. Even though I'm using a flat, I'm rounding up as I go, okay, and giving a somewhat form to that shadow. Okay, I'm wetting my brush again. I know this is kind of difficult to do, especially if you're new in watercolors, but try to do this. All right, this is how I was shown and as I was taught. Obviously you won't have this problem with oils because you just can apply the oil paint or the white oil paint. Now notice where this pear is actually starting off. All right, and we're gonna go to that, and I'm as I go, I'm kind of rounding out what I'm doing, right? Now I did mark with my pencil a really dark shadow on the middle here. And I also, even though you can't see on the picture, there's a big dump or a big dark shadow over here, which we're going to immediately put in there. And just by applying that simple shadow there, I'm adding some blue to that brown, to that burnt sepia. I'm just adding some blue. All right, so we make a really nice, interesting kind of sort of shadow. And I'm going to round and put down my shadow. This is what I see as I see the picture. I mean, your shadow can be purple, your shadow, it depends on what you see, but I see some type of bluish tone and I'm adding it here. It might look more like a muddy kind of color, but we're good with that. I can work with that. It really doesn't affect me. And I think that's the part where, you know, your painting can go and be individually different, right? All right. If you don't want to be part of the chitter chatter on this side, you see these three dots over here? Let me point them out. Can you see those three dots? Dot. All right, you can click and set hide chat. Click hide chat. You won't be able to see none of the nonsense. It's just you and me on this amazing journey, on this awesome class. All right, just you and me. All right, I'm not being critical of this shadow at the moment. You see that I just place the shadow and immediately just take off. So that's what I want you to learn. Place the shadow and take off. Move to the next. All right. I'm adding a little bit of that orange. There you go. It's a really nice dab of this orange. And I'm going to add it to my mixture here. I don't know if you can see. That's the mixture from the pear, right? So we're basically, what we're doing is just adding up a color to the palette that we already had. We're not going out of our way to create a different palette. All right. And then I'm going to start rounding and adding some shadow to my orange. And the way you do this, again, you're going to look at your subject. You're going to squint your eyes and you're going to start painting. As you're squinting your eyes, you take out whatever is not interesting to you or add to whatever it is if you miss anything. And I'm just going to immediately just post this shadow over here. And again, I'm not really like, all right, no details. See that? No details. We're going to drag here. All right, we're going to drag here and I'm going to be very gently as I come here. Okay. All right. Notice how I'm not touching or this part over here. You're going to step back and you're going to see if you can see the subject. That's the main thing. You're going to step back on your painting and you're going to look at your subject and you're going to see what you have in your paper, right? And somewhat, if it looks like a pear, then you know that you're doing the right thing. If, let's say, it's not working out, you're adding too much water, things are rolling, you know, all over the place, just step back, relax, and start over. You know, it's practice, okay? So I'm going to put my palette here next to me. Now we're going to add some color here to the strawberry. Now I want you to pay attention to the undertone that this strawberry has, and there's a reason to it. Now if you add red to green, you will get a little bit more purplish color. So there is a difference between this, the orange, and the pear. They all have their particular washes. So when you step back, you can see the difference. Now, we are still talking here about our beloved shadow and light. So that's the next step. So immediately I have my loaded brush. Just be careful when you're doing this. I have my loaded brush and I'm starting to just take out. Since I'm using a flat brush, so I'm just using it this way. All right, being very careful to not go over my light, right? And I'm going to drag here that wash. All right, now I know this I know that you're not going to be able to learn everything at once, but just try to be patient. All right, so we already located, basically we did kind of the main shadow on the subject. Now what we need is to locate the shadow underneath of that subject, which will be the shadow of the pear, the shadow of that orange, the shadow of the strawberry. Now in that picture over here, if we were having this on a table, we will be able to see it better. But on the picture, even on the picture that I'm using, I'm actually seeing how there's part of that color of this orange on the foreground, and there's part of the color of the pear. There's a hint of that yellow. That will be the reflection of the subject as it hits the light. Everything has to do with light. So again, I'm going to squint my eyes and I'm coming here with my yellow, right? Trying to do things right here. And I'm going to add that shadow. All right?
Do you still have the black headphones?
I don't know. It's gotta be somewhere. And I'm going to, there's gotta be somewhere. Also, I'm applying this dry paint here. You know why I sometimes do this? As I'm going to explain to you guys why. It actually, don't complicate your life. Sometimes we do. We want to do things, perfectly. And it doesn't work that way. Don't complicate your life. Try to play with the medium and try to maneuver it as best as you can. All right, so as you see, I'm not touching that yellow that I did. I'm just going to drag it here and we're going to play with the next subject. And again, the subject has part of that reflection. And I'm just going to drag it here. I'm adding a little bit of purple. Why not? I kind of just see a purplish / blue undertone underneath. And again, we're using a photograph. So basically the shadow can be any color. But right now we're just trying to stick to something that you guys can apply on a real life setting or a real life still life. All right, as I'm coming here and I'm looking at my 3 subjects here, I need to separate my subjects from the background, because even though they have their shadow and their respective whites and everything is basically in order, we see that they kind of just there. They really don't have, like, right now there's just a blank canvas and we want to be able to separate that. So I'm going to, I don't know, maybe add a little bit of blue. We're going with my complementaries if I want it to be more technical, and I'm going to add and separate that background. So let's say I actually mark it here because it's kind of too low. So let's say I wanted to start it from here, and I already know this is very important actually. I already know that excuse me. Again, if the whatever bothers you, those 3 dots, slide, hide chat, please. All right, so we already know that our main subjects here don't have really a set background. As you see in the picture, it's just plain, and they're part of many fruits in there. I just happen to look for the ones that are basically about the same with the same coloring, that I don't have to go that far. So we're going to separate the background. We're going to go with possibly a complementary to the yellow. So complementary of the yellow, besides the purple that I have here, will be, right? We're going to add it here. Okay, I'm going to start separating the background. Now you don't have to go all out when you're doing this. I'm just separating the background, and I'm just going as fast as I can. Now the other thing that I wanted to add is, as you're doing this and you're creating your painting and you're seeing background, you won't be able to do this in a live setting, but what I'm trying to do, as you're doing this and you're creating the setting for your painting, notice where the light is coming from. This is the most important thing. I know I won't be able to explain everything, but this is very important. I think it will guide you towards your other paintings. Notice where the light is actually coming from. These objects were actually taking, this picture was on the clearest light that you can imagine, probably an halogen or just on a camera picture. Like they were right in front of that light. So we're trying our best to make it as live as possible. So even though we're marking here our lights from the front, then it means that we're going to add our shadow on the back, right? So we want to mark where the light is coming from. I'm just going to separate these two from each other, and we're going to, again, and I'm using a and then I'm adding here a little bit of that green to complement whatever. Whoops, sorry. I'm actually using my phone, so that green in there. Okay, I'm stepping back as I go, right? I'm going to play with color just a little bit, just to give it a nice contrast, and I'm going to come here and just close in, and we're gonna drag this shadow to the back, or background to the back, and I'm just gonna do this real quick, okay? All right, so I'm stepping back and seeing how the painting is going, okay, as I go. All right, we're going to probably add a little bit more just to give it a nice separating that background from our pear, right? And we're going to do the same thing here. Just picking up whatever I feel if it's going to run all over the place. So I just pick it up with my brush, and we're going to do the same thing here. All right, you're going to step back and you're going to see how is it looking, and you're like, this is nice, I like the color, this is bothering me. You're going to take out, you have the opportunity. And that's what I like about layering. I know some people don't agree with this, but when you're starting off, I think layering is the best way to go, because you'll be able to scrub out whatever it is that you don't like, or get in more color if you mind. Okay, so we're going now, again, I'm going to add that yellow, that really nice strong yellow that I have here, and I have this green, and I want that yellow to be a little bit more potent or more stronger than whatever else that I took off. I'm going to come back and I'm going to start adding my third layer. Okay, we're going to come here and we're going to start adding more of that shadow and more form. to our pear. Kind of took from there, so I immediately take out. I'm going to, now I'm here, and I'm going to add that red in there, and I'm going to start adding a little bit more shadow on this side. If I wanted a darker shadow, make this painting your own as well. You can add a little bit of that sepia that we used earlier, just to give it a more a bigger shadow. All right, I'm going to come here. We're going to, where is this people coming from? Are you guys are like bots and stuff? I will delete you. I will block you. All right, and then you can tell I'm not actually going into details. I'm just applying shadow. That's the first thing. So that stem is basically not even touched. And this is how you will, try to mimic as best your shadow. I'm just gonna do my stem over here. And if you, let's say you have something you want to omit, you'll be able to do this now. I'm going to come to my orange, right? You can tell here how I'm basically playing with that red. And I don't want it too red, so I'm just gonna come here and, all right, we're going to start the same thing that we did with the pear. We're gonna do now with our orange. So I'm stepping back again. It's the same thing. It's squinting and getting your shadows out. Now the orange has a little bit hint of that green. I'm just gonna add it there, and I'm coming here in my palette and adding it as I go. And I'm just dragging with me whatever color I feel that it needs to be put in that orange. All right. And if I'm going to add that green, obviously that shadow has, which one? The one on the right? Yes. All right. And I'm going to drag with me. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pear. All right. So it's actually an orange, but thanks for noticing. All right. So I wake up this area right here. I'm going to try to close in. Not so much, but just try to close in. You notice how I haven't touched, not for a brisk of a second, my light. Oh, cool. There you go. So you like this demo. You love it. Please replay back. This is important, I really sometimes don't have time to do this. So when I sit down, I love to teach. I love to show how I do certain things. And I think the topic of shadow is important, especially if you're starting off in watercolors. And I'm just going to do my stem. All right, I'm going to mark my stem over here. Cool. Go ahead, do it, please. And I'll go over there and look for you. How is that? Your profile picture. Yes, you do. You're an egg. But anyways, you know what? Anything and everyone is welcome. So, and I'm going to close here because that's the darkest shadow that I found on my subject. And I'm going to step back and see, okay, this looks very much like what I see. All right. Now, I have a little bit of a problem, which is I'm not really closing. I'm really just both of them are actually just basically open. That means that it's just a construction of the shadow and light. And so we want to make sure that those details are done. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. All right. So we're going to apply even darker, and I'm now going to this really nice delicious red over here, and I'm going to start applying into my strawberry, my friend right here. Okay, and then again I'm gonna add part of it. I'm sorry that I kind of just, we're going to drag with us, and we're gonna do the same thing here and take away whatever we don't need. Okay, now I'm going to take away Okay, now you can see my profile picture. Oh, okay. It's just a plain white something. But anyway, nice to meet you. I'm going to take away my flat. I'm using a half flat. You can buy this in any art store. And this is important that you know what stroke that brush is going to give you. All right, so I'm going to put away my flat, half flat. I'm going to come here and I'm going to start using my round, possibly 6 or an 8. Let's see if I can find it. Because sometimes I'm not very organized. All right, so there you go. I found there you go. Hello, Chrissy. How are you? I'm going to use a number 8 and a number 9. I'm sorry. A number 9 round, and we're going to start. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this, but this is where you can find it. All right. This was actually a gift from the Cancer Society. I'm a donor. I love to donate my paintings. So this was a gift from them. Isn't this cool? So I have them. I have this ever since. I'm going to get my round number 9, and now we're going to apply the details. So we basically did about four to 3 layers each, right? I'm going to come here, and as I wake up this color right here, some really burnt sepia / anything else in between, and I'm going to do my wash, and I'm going to come here and add some of that green. Now, this is the part where a lot of people kind of just say, okay, so now I have the colors, I have your palette, I have, now what? Now I feel stuck because, my painting, your painting does not by no means have to look exactly as what I'm teaching. If your painting looks exactly as what I'm teaching, that's a problem for me because I have to have my own colors. Like I can give you a range of colors that you can use in fruits, but you have to make your own palette. So in other words, I'm giving you an example, and then from there you take off. This is why the demo is here. This is why I'm doing this. So I'm going to now close in the details of my pear and the details of my orange, so it looks more uniform and I can see which part I can add or take or whatever. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to just drag with me. And as you can see, this last layer of paint that I put in here is pretty dark, and that's okay, and it's fine. So I'm closing, as you can see. All right, and then we're going to do something here that is pretty cool. All right, you see how that line is drawn in there? I'm going to come here with my halfway brush. Let's say a droplet of water comes out of your brush. And I'm going to close in my light. Very light. Again, I'm going to go slowly so you can see. All right. I'm going to come here and do the same thing. All right. I'm going to grab again part of that. And I'm going to come here. So a lot of people is like, but you just closed in your own shadow. Not really. Your own light. Not really. If you step back, you'll be able to see it. All right. I'm going to round up. Just drag this just a little bit upper. Round up my pear a little bit. I see that it's a little just flat because of the brush that we were using. So I'm just going to wake up some areas and kind of round up. All right, so it looks more like a pear. And I'm going to close, as I said, I'm going to close in and add some details. Okay, I don't worry much about this. I'm actually going to add part of it too. All right. Okay. If you miss anything, you don't understand anything, please just go back. You'll be able to replay this stuff. I think the most important thing is that you can step back and you can immediately see where the shadows are applied and where the whites are. That's the most important thing. We're going to with our background paint, we're going to be able to give a little bit more form to our subject. So if you step back, you'll be able to see what you're making, which is when you see that it looks like a pear, okay, so you're going the right direction. I'm going now to do the same thing to the orange. I don't like to mess around much with color or whatever. I just add as I go. I'm just going to close in details. I just need it a little bit. All right, just a little bit, just to close in details. And just we're going to apply here part of it. We're going. I'm using brown, but you can use any other color that you like. And I'm going to close here. All right, I'm going to lift this up. That's why the brown brush is for. We're going to lift just a bit that shadow, and I'm going to close here. I'm going to come here and close this area. I'm going to drag here this area as well, and just lift up as I go here. And I'm going to, when I have the opportunity, I'm going to add some part of that background in there. Okay, and you step back and you see what you're doing. If you see any harsh mistakes, then you take off. Just gonna come here with my brush and just kind of just next, you know, as I go to, as my leg is actually sleeping. This is how I am on my bed. All right, we're gonna come here now. It depends on you, obviously, and what is it that you want to convey. You can go further with this. I really want to just do something light. I don't want to just go all over the place. I'm doing the same thing that I did to the pear, just adding a little bit of water on those lights so as not to just leave it white, but it's just me. I don't want to be a purist, that's what I'm trying to say. Even though, okay, just add there, just take it off. We're going to go to our next subject, and I'm going to notice how I left the leaves of this one untouched, and the reason why is because I just wanted something, you know, different. So I can do that. I'm just applying here my palette. I'm going around and I'm actually adding some blue, and I'm just gonna lift up over here. All right, we're just gonna be very careful when we drag this paint with us, and I'm just gonna close here. I know I added some of that green, but that's okay. It's not going to. All right, we're going to, this is basically wet into wet, and we're going to close down our strawberry here. I'm going to add a little bit of that purplish color on the bottom. You notice that I didn't touch anything else. I'm just going to leave it like that and just step back and see how our subjects look in our watercolor paper at the moment. So obviously, you know, because you're training your eye to see shadowed, you know that the background needs reinforcement, because, well, it basically looks exactly almost about the same as our still life over here, and we want that to pop out. So you're gonna come here. I usually just use the same colors of the background and the still life that I'm using, and I'm going to separate the three of them by just dragging with me again I'm just trying to lift up whatever, and this will actually help me to erase anything. Now a lot of people like to add blue. You can do whatever you want, it's your painting, you know, but closing in, I'm just gonna come here. All right, and then since I'm doing something different, I'm going to squeeze that out, squeeze the okay of my brush. This is a very good brush, by the way, even though it's a synthetic brush. When you do this, this is what you have to look for. Look at this, nice, it's awesome. All right, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to use the right tool again. I'm using a bigger brush for my background. I'm gonna come here and do my wash. Just picking up from here and giving it that nice muddy look. And I'm going to start locating some of part of that shadow. And I'm going to add, I'm going to continue moving as I go, but I'm going to give it to the fruit as well, so as to not be stingy with our shadows. We want to locate, we want to do this the right way. So I'm just going to come here and leave it just like this because I kind of like it, but I'm just going to close in over here. All right, I'm going to hold this big old fat brush and look for another big fat brush, and I'm going to drag with me. Don't worry about. All right, I'm going to leave that big old flat brush stepping out from the painting, and I'm going to right, and as I go closer to my subject, I want to add a little bit of that blue or purple. Okay, so we're basically just separating that subject from the background. I'm just going to add a line there, okay, as if that's where, thank you, Jamal, as if that's where the background starts, if they were on some sort of surface and I can see that background. All right, and I'm going to drag with me. Notice how I'm not being very picky. Where I live, the light, but I'm just kind of going that way and this way. All right, and then I'm going to come here. If you see these droplets, just tell the watercolor where to go. I want you to go that way. All right, I'm going to come here because this is an area that is kind of open. We're just gonna kind of sort of close it in. So basically our background is going to help our painting, and we're going to do the same thing here. You're going to step back and see if everything is okay. I'm going to come here with my other brush and I'm going to drag with me. Okay, you see you're still left painting. Now to reinforce the shadow, we're going to add, I know this looks crazy, but this is our shadow. So we want to make sure that that shadow is taken forth. We want that subject to pop out, right? I'm going to come here. All right, I'm gonna come here as well. All right, now remember that we've been layering, so that yellow of whatever that we took from here is still gonna show. And I'm going to come here. I think Cassie wants to go beep beep weepy. All right. And I'm going to come here very carefully because I don't want to. All right. I'm going to come here again. Right. I'm just going to drag with me. Being very careful. Still where I go to with my shadow. And then I'm going to all right. You see how the immediately when you add the shadow, how your painting kind of just like poof, comes to life. And we haven't really applied any details. We just basically went with eyes and what our eyes tell us that there's shadow there, there's form there. That's all we've been doing. There's no really details. We come back and you see now a little closer what we've done. There is somewhat a line, but you see just a subject there, not really having any details. And that's how you kind of know that you have basically done your job or a job well done. And I'm actually getting very close so you can see how this is done, especially on the pear, because the pear. All right, we're gonna step back and there's your painting, or there's our painting. I'm just gonna make it seem like there's something there, and this is just me. Just giving a nice curvature or something, so we can just kind of sort of zigzag our background. All right, and that's it. This is our demo for today. I want to thank you so much for watching this painting. If you have any questions, do please feel free. I'm actually in Twitter. My name in Twitter will be @VargasArtStudio. I'm just going to, because it's kind of bothering me, just gonna just a little bit, just gonna a little bit of watercolor in there. All right, just close it in. All right, I'm stepping back again so you can see what we've done. You know, right now, if I wanted just a little bit more dark, I can. I have the ability to do that because we've been just adding washes to the painting. And so that's it. I'm going to turn my camera so you can see what we're doing. You can see our still life. And I think I actually show more than shadow and what I said that I was going to do. I actually showed more than that, but you know, you have an idea on how to do a still life and just continue practicing. I really like how the yellow that we kind of apply here kind of just stay with the reflection. That was kind of my go-to as well. And you definitely, if you squint your eyes, you immediately are able to locate the light and the shadow. All right, so thank you so much. I know this is a lot of technical stuff. If you don't understand anything, replay back. This is why Periscope did this, so you won't be able to miss any details. And if you have any questions, do please follow me. My name and everything will be right here, right where this awesome rose is tapping, all those nice hearts right below there, @VargasArtStudio. Follow me on Twitter. If you find this entertaining and good, please share it with people that like art, as well as those who are interested in artists like myself. And I'm in Twitter following a bunch of interesting people, so you're more than welcome to follow as well. All right, follow me, and thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate that. If you took your time from Twitter to come here, thank you as well. And let me know. Let me know what else I can be of service. I love to help people and I love to show, and these demos, these are my blessings. I feel much, much better when I do this type of stuff with people because I feel like I'm not just showing here how much I know or how good of a painter I am, but actually showing how to do this stuff. All right. So I'll see you guys later. Stepping back again. Try to squint for one last time. All right. Try to do it on your own. Not necessarily have to be exactly. Try to practice from life. I think that's the best way. And I'll see you next time on the next painting.